Hey, so I wanted to do a couple of journal layouts and I thought I would share the process with you. I haven't shared this, I don't think, on here yet, but it's okay because it's one of the projects I'm really enjoying right now. It's like mini scrapbook pages kind of, but not all at the same time. So I'm going to be using the November 2025 Everyday Explorers Co. journaling kit, and this is the chill one that was designed by Abby C. And so the cool thing about this is that you saw it comes in this little envelope. It's very small, easy, compact to store. I absolutely love how like neat, tidy, and organized it is. The outside packaging has on the inside a little bit of patterned paper, so you can actually use the packaging as well. So the back tells you what's included in the kit, and then a handful of prompts. And then obviously the front tells you the color palette, the kit, the contents, and then the inside has that patterned paper. So you can use absolutely all of it, and then you can use the envelope when you're done. So what's included is this 3x4 stamp set, which is super cute. And like I said, the whole thing is designed by Abby C. And then there is a washi tape sampler. So it has these 3 washi tapes in it, and I think it's like 2 meters or something of each, which I love. I also love that then when you're done with the washi, you can use this card for other washi samples. Okay, and so then there are sticker sheets that are all like different types of materials. So you have this one that is clear stickers. Cool, right? And then we have this one that is like little phrases that you can use with your photos or whatever. Then we have alphabet stickers. We have these that are good for layering and adding like details or whatever. Then there's these little guys that are washi stickers, and these that are washi stickers. So they're very, very cute, and I like the color palette because it's very different and it also feels very fall. So I have 2 different layouts that I want to do, and I don't do all the pages in this, and I don't intend to. Like, I mean, if I did, that would be amazing, right? But that's not my goal. My goal is that even if I do 10, that's 10 more pages that I wouldn't have throughout the year. So that excites me very much. So what I'm going to do is I am going to actually turn this one like this, which I know is kind of random, but I'm totally cool with it. So again, as we know, that's all that really matters, right? So this is my photo, and this is why I want to turn it this way, because it's a horizontal photo and I love it. And I felt like this would be really fun to use here in this notebook. Now I have a piece of patterned paper that I cut from the digitals. So I'm going to tear the little piece of this off. And then I'm going to put it like right here. That's what I'm going to do, because I want it to be maybe not quite so much peeking out, but I want it to peek out, but I don't want it to be like overwhelming, if that makes sense. So I actually may tear a little bit more off. Just because I definitely want it to peek out, but I don't want it to be, like I said, an overwhelming amount. So yeah, that's very cute. And I like it because it has the purple in it and also the orange, because I know there's really not a ton of orange in this photo, but the purple is very much part of the photo, and I like how that overlaps. So let's go ahead and glue this down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to first put a little bit of adhesive right here, because then I can put the paper exactly where I want it. I personally really like a tape runner. These are really inexpensive. Refills are very inexpensive. It's much more economical to do this than it is to buy sticky back paper. So that's why I like to do it. But I also have been admittedly using one of those for a really long time, and so it feels very natural to me. All right, so okay, we've got that going, right? Now what I want to do is I want to sort of like, how do I say this? Actually, you know what? I think I want to move this up a little bit. And by up, I mean to the right. Let's not tear the page, shall we? Especially since it's Tomoe River paper. It's a little bit more thin. It's not like using a nice heavy cardstock or something, but it's all right. We're gonna make it work. Worst case scenario is that I'm putting something back down on it, so it's fine. All right, I'm gonna add just a little bit more adhesive just to make sure where there's some of that paper that it's fine. Okay, there we go. Now we can start over, right? We didn't even just do that. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to sort of, how should I say this? Add some bits and pieces and layering and all of that. So I'm going to go through here and look at the things that I want to include. I know I want to write home. Maybe these little clear because it's super cute. Maybe one of these. So cute. I'm just like overwhelmed by how cute these are. So if you can see here, like how beautiful this is. So pretty. Okay, I think I'm going to use Quiet Moment, and I'm going to put this maybe like right there. And then I would like to spell out home. And I'm going to have them overlap and stuff just a little bit. A, because I want them to fit. B, I just like the way that that looks when I do that. All right, now let's look at the stamps. I feel like kind of like stamping something. All right, let's go with this little guy. I just like the little smiley face, like it looks sort of blissed out. All right, so I'm gonna put that down right there. Pick up that guy. I am going to use, I'm trying to think of which ink pad. You know what? I think I have the perfect one. So this is a brand new stamp I've not used, so I'm going to prime it just a tiny bit by rubbing it on the back of my hand. Then I'm going to add a little bit of ink. And then I'm going to put it right, I want it to be a little bit off kilter, so not completely straight. That's awesome. I love that. All right, and then I'm going to just wipe off on the sticker the ink because I don't want it to smear later, so it's just easier to just wipe it right off. And it was fine, it was no big deal. All right, now let's look at the, I think the washi, well, you know what I'm gonna do? Let's use some washi. I love this kit for this type of thing or using in another little journal because it's like the perfect amount of stuff. Like it's not too much, but it's not enough either. That's why I like the amount of items that are included. And I love the designs too. Okay, so you can see I've just got this little like torn piece of washi. So what I'm actually gonna do though is I'm gonna tear it in half because I don't want it to be this wide. And what that also does is it gives me like a funky edge, and I like that too. So what I will do next is then just like right along down here, gonna put this here. Super fun, right? So I love how that kind of looks and turned out and whatever. And so then I also want to maybe put something up here a little bit, but I want it to be really small because I don't want it to be overwhelming or, you know, too much. So I'm going to look at these and see, these are a little bigger than I was hoping for. What else? Okay, let me look at these two. Ooh, you know what? I kind of like this one right here. And then maybe... Okay, let's use quiet moment. And then let's use... I like that they're all purple, so I'm gonna go with that. Tone on tone on tone, right? Because the photo has a ton of purple. Then we're gonna use this little guy. And then we're gonna put quiet moment. Now, I might ordinarily try to put like a little bit of journaling or something on here, but honestly, it's just a picture of sunset in my backyard, right? So it doesn't need a ton of to say. So I am going to write a little bit. Nothing super revolutionary, but it's the truth. So it's one of the reasons I just love this kit. I love this format and this size, that like a 3x4 photo trimmed down a little bit like has a huge impact on one day, and you don't have to do anything totally crazy. And again, like I recognize this as the view in the back of my house, like in my backyard. And so I think that that's like, you don't know what it is, but I do. Does that make sense? So like in your own journals, some of it doesn't have to be quite as explanatory. So anyway, all right. So now what I want to do is I'm going to press down the back of this paper just to make sure I get the ink off, any excess ink. And then I want to skip ahead to the next one I want to do, which is this one. Okay, so I'm going to use the kit again, so I'm not going to put it away or anything like that. But I also want to use these 3 stamp sets. So this one is called A Story from Today, this one is called Paper Passport, and this one's 29 Prompts. So I will link these up and the kit and all that thing underneath in case you are interested in these. But I have a few photos that I want to use. And let's see. Hopefully it'll work. Hopefully I don't need to trim them down anymore. I better trim them down both a little bit. Hang on, let me do that. They're both just a teeny tiny bit wider than I would like. Yeah, so now I think if I trim this one a little bit, it'll be better. I did try this, I did trim them down earlier because I printed them as 2x3s, but they're not exactly how I want them, so. Yeah, that's definitely better. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and adhere these down. I'm gonna use the same little tape runner just because, like I said, it's very economical and so easy to use. And side note, I've been doing this a really long time, so I have a very firm grasp on what adhesives hold up over time because I have scrapbooks and stuff like that from like 25 years ago. And this is one that definitely has staying power, which is important to me. So, all right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out let's see, couple of these prompts, because that's what I want to do is add those. Okay, so the first one we're going to do is we're going to do this Glad I Did This. Actually, this is not a new stamp, so I don't need to prime it yet. Okay, so this is from the 29 Prompts stamp set, and it's a great one. It's so versatile and usable. And then we're going to do, let's see, I'm going to do right here, but I might check this out a little bit more. Let's see. Maybe, okay, I'm going to try this one, see if I like this one better. I like both of these, but sometimes the stamps also stick to the sleeves, which is totally normal and doesn't hurt anything. Just slide the paper out, slide it in the front, and then it'll all come right out. Except for, you know, you can see that I was struggling. Okay, I want to see if that will fit here. Oh yeah, that's cool. Let's do that. You can see that says Pen Friends. I mean, it's not like 100% accurate. It's not like, oh, these are Pen Friends, but it's definitely like a thing or whatever. All right, now the other thing that I want to do is I want to pull out this one because I think it's really cute. And let's see, I gotta look at my stickers too. Yeah, I think this will do. So what I'm going to do is use that. But what I want to do is make it into like, I mean, theoretically like a sticker, but obviously it's not going to be a sticker because it's not. But I will sorry, I'm looking for a piece of cardstock to stamp on. All right, so I'm going to take this, here's a story from today. And then use this ink pad. Stamp it on the cardstock. Any nice smooth piece of paper will do. It doesn't have to be anything particularly special. All right, and then I'm just gonna cut it out. And again, this doesn't even have to be perfect, like, you know, do a good job or whatever, but don't worry if it's not exactly perfect because it's gonna fit in on the page and look great. I love how this green is very, very similar to the green in the kit too. So it's very exciting to have such a close match. Okay, so that we have that. And then what I want to do is, let's see, where's that sticker? Here it is. All right, so this was a class that I taught for the book journal, and so, or review journal. So I wanted to include this, but I want to leave plenty of room. So then I will adhere it, I think. Yeah, that's so cute. Okay, so let's do that. So it's not like wildly over decorated or anything. Obviously it's actually fairly simple. It's just a few stamps and that sticker, but it's kind of the point, is that not every page has to be like crazy full of decoration, right? So now I will just add the journaling for this. So this is going to be journaling about teaching this class, these people that are in this photo, and then something else. So I'll fill this in. All right, so there we go. So now, like I said already, my thought process on this journal is that any days that I do is better than what I had before, which is none, right? So having 50 completed pages is wonderful. I didn't get this journal till July, and I've maybe done like 10 or 12 pages or whatever, but I'm not gonna let that stop me from using it because I really like it. Like, I think it's super fun. So yeah, there's two really fun, easy ways to journal with photos in a little A6 planner. I will link everything for you below just so you can check it out, see if there's anything that you need for your journaling practice, and I'll see you again real soon.